Boats are made. Transferring. Oddities back and forth. And those... come across Lure tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
Gather!
Yahoo! Think you can get away? Here we go.
Stabilize.
Time for takeoff.
Settle down. Let the mighty be humble. I will have order.
Let's play.
Bow your head.
Is it what you wish to find? Hopefully the excitement of opening a treasure chest has at least made it a worthwhile experience.
Silence! Solidify!
Yahoo! Think you can get away?
Bow your head. The tides beckon. Stabilize! Silence! Solidify! Settle down!
Time for takeoff.
Be sanctified. Bow your head. Gather! Order guide you. head.
Brace yourselves. Yeah. Think you can get away?
Silence! Bow your head.
Yahoo! Ha! Time for takeoff.
Silence! Let the mighty be humbled! Stabilize!
Brace yourselves.
I will have order!
Let's play. Yeah.
Gather!
Think you can get away?
Settle down! The tide's best. Bow your head.
Yeah. Time for takeoff.
Silence! This is order. Solidify!
Think you can get away?
Bow your head. Be sanctified. Justice is blindsided. Gather!
Let's play. Time for takeoff.
Settle down.
lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see!
Will at last part ways.
Monsters!
Order guide you. Bow your head. Let the mighty be humbled.
Think you can get away?
Solidify.
Let's play!
Silence!
Gather.
Here we go! This monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again. There's something inside it. Some small device. Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? We better take it with us.
Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that Prince's voice? Did you hear that? But...
How shall the saviors save themselves?
Ah! Poor Daddy! Let's play!
Settle down. Be sanctified. Stabilize.
Brace yourself. Think you can get away?
Silence.
We'll be in trouble if these spooky shadows touch us! Quick, use the lantern!
Hand it over. That was mine from the first. You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern now! It escaped again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
So, you were tangling with Rara out here all by yourself.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so. Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities. And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on Wild Hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores only for a special crystalline object to fall out. I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios. And curiosity it was that had me store this crystal inside my lantern. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. Though my understanding ends there. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
Is that what Rara claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's after then!
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him several times, though I could not destroy him completely. But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer. Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him. And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away? Were our places switched, would you discard it, knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp?
Yeah, throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing weaker by the day, that sounds super dangerous too.
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters. Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak such platitudes. Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to Rerir. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise. I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well, no, but...
Ah. I see. To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more difficulty tracking me down. They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear a lantern. They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
You mean this thing?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
It must belong to a Ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt massing to strike. Well, at least they're not dead.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast, then. But if Rerir could have shapeshifted into Sosi, why didn't he just use that Kavaki device to find you himself?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should, owing to abyssal interference.
Ah, guess that explains it.
So not only is this Rerir ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks, too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sosi, but he put his heart and soul into every mission. Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha Town. As such, he was very seldom able to go back and visit his family. He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince them to transfer him out.
Oh.
But every year they would say, "Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer." He often wondered if it was because he was lacking somehow. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But good work does not always lead to good outcomes. The higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. A most convenient choice for them, at least. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talented, easygoing boss? So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone, that no one could see. One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take this Rerir's head.
Oh. At least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside Wild Hunt anomalies.
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
Could Rerir be angry that the cannon Sosi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime? We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. Come on. Let us be on our way.
Settle down! Order guide you!
Time for takeoff.
Bow your head. An oversight on my part. Stabilize! The tides beckon. Settle down!
Here we go.
Crumble! Gather! I will have order!
Think you can get away? Yahoo! Brace yourself.
Quake! Bow your head. Let the mighty be humbled. Stabilize. Solidify!
Time for takeoff.
This is order! Silence!
Let's play.
Rise! Gather!
Brace yourself. Think you can get away?
Bow your head. The tides beckon. Order guide you. Crumble.
Yahoo!
Stabilize.
Brace yourself.
Silence.
Time for takeoff.
Bow your head. Gather! Solidify!
Yahoo! Yeah. Think you can get away?
This is order. Let the mighty be humbled.
Let's play! Yeah.
I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him. Hello?
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation, right?
Yep, that's us.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sosi's remains. If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so. Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while we somehow managed to get news of Flint's, an unexpected accident caused us to miss him. But considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough's not far off.
We'll do our part too. All right, we're going in. See you later. Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again. But we still know nothing about how Flint is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on. Something the matter? Huh. That looks like Flint's lantern. But where is he exactly? Well, we've got the lantern. What now? Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal. As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own. But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited, after all. Just as I thought. Come, try sensing it yourself. Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the Wild Hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him, let alone the handful of us stationed in Nashatown. He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned. Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace. When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
Oh, if we can't get any leads, We might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Ugh, this is so frustrating! You mean this?
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that... Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon...
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
That's right! If only there was some way to prove it.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
Oh, it's you two. And Flint's. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true? You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you for your understanding.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward. And I understood, completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other. What's with those faces? Everything all right?
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hintsa. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, But once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually Rerir in disguise. 8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm. Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm was actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the Wild Hunt, and it works as intended. But how would that help Rerir exactly? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within Wild Hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy too.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate. We'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
Phew, back inside. We can finally take a breather. Okay, Paimon. In and out.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. As I recall, our first meeting took place not far from here. Ah, the nostalgia. Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time? I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight. Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a Lightkeeper, I'd say I'm simply doing my job.
Yeah! You're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at. You can't just get out of explaining yourself by making lame excuses.
All right. I suppose I do owe you some honesty, whether out of gratitude or the need to build trust. Your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, elemental power alone is not enough. You know humans well, and naturally you understand their limits. But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of non-humans.
So, you mean you're one of the latter?
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae? This race is no longer of any importance, but they still exist, as evidenced by the fact that I am standing before you.
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss. I once labored and did much, and put an end to my tale with my own hands. When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that swimming in any direction would be equally meaningless. Would it not be better, then, to simply sink? But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone from their eyes.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them, and was moved to action for the first time in a long, long while. But I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. I could not prevent casualties altogether. The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the Final Night Cemetery. Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them, so joining up seemed the most convenient way to experience human life.
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it. Besides, I'm well past the age when one might believe in things that must be done. Nonetheless, there are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that Rerir has been stirring up is one of them. Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rerir, and the Canon.
Will you need us to get you where you need to be?
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence in case of emergencies.
Can you even go back there right now? Won't there be Ratniki watching it?
Thanks for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed. All things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the manpower for such an open-ended stakeout. And even if someone is waiting, I have ways around that. I am the master of my own house, after all.
All right then, we'll trust you. We sure ended up chatting for a while, huh? I'm super tired now. But, you know, feels like we can breathe easier, now that we know you better.
I didn't take you for the cautious sort. Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more trouble on account of being a Fae.
Paimon's lips are sealed too.
All right. Thanks again for your help. Good night, you two.
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.
Where's Flint's? Is he here, or isn't he?
We would be most obliged if you would pipe down a little, dear guest. Our other guests are resting.
Resting? We're all about to be done for, and you're talking about rest? Flint's is a Wild Hunt shapeshifter, here to deceive us all! If we don't get rid of him now, there'll be no end to this!
You'd better give him up. If anything happens, your business here is done for. You want that, huh?
Or are you in cahoots with him? You with the Wild Hunt too, huh?
What happened? Did something leak out? But we were so careful last night. How did anyone see us? What do you mean? This is so confusing! What do we do? These people are no match for Flint's, but they're super heated right now. It's not like all the unusual stuff about him will make it any easier to explain either. Okay!
Hey! Let us in now!
My apologies. My apologies.
Hold on! Calm down, everyone!
What in Tevat is the meaning of this racket? Are you intent on depriving both the Voynich Guild and the Curatorium of Secrets of even a moment's rest? Boss, do we really have to entertain people who don't respect the rules? Call a few of your boys and have them thrown out.
And what hole did you crawl out of?
A watering hole, of course. The one you've just disturbed. A place to get a moment's respite from all the recent unhappiness, and to escape from all this talk of the Wild Hunt, or strange ghosts and phantoms. Who'd have guessed people like you would come bursting in, shrieking louder than any ghoul?
This is a matter of utmost importance. We've got solid evidence. All we need now is to confront Flint's face to face.
Exactly. And you sure don't look like an impartial party either, Nefer.
Oh, don't I now? How about this then, boss? Let them do their search. If they find their man, they can have their little chat. But if they don't, then they owe everyone here an apology, as well as compensation for all the racket they've caused.
Wait, it's...
All right. I suppose that's the only way. If we don't let them in now, they'll be back sooner or later. What a mess.
Oh, alright then.
Well, I'd say that sounds like an impartial proposal. What say you? Or are you suddenly unsure of yourselves?
Come on, everyone! Move it!
No sign of Flint's.
But how can that be? Hasn't he always stayed here?
Done searching, are we? Guess it's time to uphold your end of the bargain, huh? So, Paimon, you've been waiting to ask me something, haven't you?
Yeah, how did they even find us here?
My inside man with the Lightkeepers informed me that you paid the crime scene a late-night visit. I surmise that you must have rendezvoused with Flint's and obtained some new information. Then, early this morning, a group of people gathered at the town gates, news spreading amongst them that the Wild Hunt could disguise itself by taking on familiar faces. Everyone started throwing out the names of possible suspects. No one, seemingly, was exempt. And amidst it all, Flint's name started gaining more and more traction. I'm sure his solitary lifestyle may have played a part, but I wouldn't discount Rerir throwing fuel on the fire in secret.
So, did Flint's make his escape after hearing about this?
And that's where I, Yehoda, the quick-witted, fleet-footed backbone of the Curatorium, gotten my chance to shine. While everyone was super focused on the argument in the main hall, I, alone, noticed an opening.
I got her to climb up to a window to help Flint's out, only for her to return with nothing but a lantern.
Aw, come on, boss. I was just getting started.
We initially intended to bring Flint's back to the Curatorium and wait those people out, but I never expected this to be all that was left. I imagine, though, that he wouldn't have left something that was so seemingly important to him behind.
Might he intend to come back and get it later? Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, he's out of harm's way now, so that's not super important, right?
Oh?
What Paimon means to say is, we got lots of new intel to share.
All right then. Yehoda, contact the others. We're going to need all hands on deck. Let's have this discussion over at my place. I see. So Flint's has a fragment taken from within a Wild Hunt anomaly.
Is he gonna be okay now that he's on his own again?
Earlier, he said that the fragment had gone still, so it's probably of no use to Rare now.
In that case, Rare shouldn't have any reason to keep pursuing him, right? So, was all that ruckus back at the flagship just an act of spite? Or what?
If I were him, I would have simply turned my attention to collecting other fragments.
A reasonable course of action. Remember what we heard back at the tavern? The actual number of Wild Hunt anomalies destroyed has been greater than Lightkeeper records would indicate. Some of these must have been Rare's doing. He must have been seeking more fragments.
This much is pretty easy to understand, but why would he pretend to be Soci and put so much effort into getting the cannon up and running again?
Maybe 'cause that'd be more efficient than having to clear anomalies himself?
Yeah, I'm confident that the ammo we're packing has the oomph to do that. But I am a mechanic after all. For me, test data and their conclusions speak loudest. Ooh, why don't we find a few of those fragments ourselves and use Kuvaki to carry out a little experiment?
Our lab could certainly accommodate such a test.
In other words, we gotta destroy a couple of anomalies and collect fragments from them, right?
Lightkeeper operations have just about ceased following the Sergeant Major's passing. Meanwhile, the Wild Hunt continues to grow in scale by the day. I fear only we can keep the situation under control now.
Then we best act fast. Paimon's got a bad feeling about this.
A feeling we all share, I'm afraid. There are 3 Wild Hunt sites that must be dealt with urgently. But I believe we have the capacity to handle it.
Works for me. Nefa and I will take our workshop assistants to deal with one of the sites.
The Curatorium will handle another.
And we Frostmoon Scions shall deal with the remaining one.
Paimon didn't think she'd ever get to see everyone here carrying out a plan together like this.
Never mind you. This is a first for me, too.
Let's head out then. We'll meet back up at my lab with the fragments.
Understood.
Time is of the essence now. Our foe could make his next move at any moment, so we must stay in contact with one another.
Gotcha! Stay safe, everyone.
Huh. Anyone seen the lantern? Has Flint's dropped by already?
Well, considering what you said earlier, you know where we're going next, right?
A reward on the road.